Soccer is the world's most popular sport, a fact that might surprise many Americans. The game of soccer has been around for almost 2 centuries and has a cult-like following in Europe and South America. Even in the US, the popularity of soccer has started to rise and more Americans are playing the sport that the world loves. Soccer is the most popular sport, with 3.5 billion fans worldwide. It is both the most watched and most played sport. In the United States, however, soccer was never truly measured as one of the major sports like, let's say, football, basketball, or baseball. But in these last couple of decades, things have started to change. Soccer has been taken a lot more seriously. Time magazine writer Bill Saporito writes that in America, soccer trails only basketball in the number of participants, and that in women's NCAA athletics, soccer is the most popular sport. Clearly, more and more Americans are getting involved with soccer each day. To better understand soccer and its popularity worldwide, I want to focus on 2 aspects. The first aspect will be the popularity of soccer all around the world in areas such as Europe and even our neighbor to the south, Mexico. The second aspect of the paper I want to focus on is the popularity of the sport of soccer here in the United States and how that popularity is starting to rise. While soccer hasn't always been that popular in the US, that has not been the case elsewhere. The game of soccer was originated in Great Britain in 1863, quickly spreading to its neighbors and the rest of Europe. The passion and fervor that these fans exhibit toward the game of soccer is truly fascinating to observe. Chronicle of Higher Education writer Toby Miller wrote about an instance during the Biafra-Nigeria Civil War when fighting was stopped between the 2 sides so that they could each watch the Brazilian star Pelé play soccer. Another example of this passion, however misguided, was brought up by Time magazine writer John Carlin when he spoke of the tragedy of Colombian soccer player Andres Escobar. Escobar inadvertently scored on his own goal during the World Cup and was subsequently shot in Medellin as a result. Didier Drogba, a member of the Ivory Coast national soccer team, was recently named one of the 100 most influential people according to Time magazine. While Drogba was an excellent soccer player, he is also a peacemaker for his native country. Ivory Coast was going through a civil war when Drogba urged the citizens of Ivory Coast to stop the violence, put down the guns. After Drogba spoke about the violence, there was a sharp decrease in violence in Ivory Coast as more and more people listened to Drogba. Drogba was idolized in Ivory Coast, and clearly it showed that these soccer players pull a lot of weight in their native countries. Now that we've had the chance to discuss the popularity worldwide of soccer, I want to focus on the popularity here in the United States. Major League Soccer is one reason that has piqued American interest in soccer. While soccer may not ever be as popular as football or baseball, plenty of growth can still be had. Droves of fans are coming out to Major League Soccer games, a league that consists of mostly American-born soccer players. Time magazine writer Bill Saporito stated that supporters of the Major League team, the Seattle Sounders, marched and paraded up the streets of Seattle before games, with crowds as strong as 35,000. Also, international stars like Thierry Henry and David Beckham of England, everyone knows David Beckham, the posh spice, have started to take their talents here to the U.S. and play with these American players. When stars like Beckham and Henry come to the U.S. and play, it lends credibility to the game of soccer in Americans' eyes, as well as brings an entertainment value that we all know Americans love and value. Further, the U.S. men's national team has enjoyed more recent success than it has in its whole history. 2 summers ago in the Confederations Cup, the U.S. men's national team knocked off Spain, the world champion. Americans love a winner. As the U.S. national team continues to win, more and more Americans will hop on the bandwagon and tune in to watch these Americans play soccer. Even soccer video games such as FIFA have seen more American interest than ever before. Online, you can play the video game of FIFA. 750,000 Americans get on each day and play FIFA. That statistic is second only to the British. When there's all these games out like Halo and Madden and football games, and 750,000 Americans are choosing soccer video games to play, clearly that is indicative of how well this sport is starting to grow here in the U.S. Now I've discussed the popularity of the sport nationally and internationally, and I've come to the conclusion, we've all come to the conclusion, that soccer is always going to be king worldwide. In the U.S. here, soccer's got a lot of ground to make up to beat out football or basketball or baseball, but with the recent statistics and the growth of popularity the U.S. has seen, there's no telling what soccer could do in the foreseeable future.